Yeah, because, I mean, they said like 3 or 4 of them there within like 3 or 4 minutes. They was hammering down Main Street, and I'm like, yep, they got it.
What, with a gun
Yeah, with a
at your
gun.
place?
Yeah, he was, that was wild.
Yeah.
They come in with doctor's gloves on, and all of them had their hoodies all down.
Oh, you know what they're ready to do.
Oh, yeah. But there was too many people in there, and it freaked them out, and they got scared. But the one kid showed the lady a gun, like he just kind of pulled up his shirt, kind of like, because she kept staring at him. And then they went walking down the street, and so then when I called the sheriff's office, about 4 or 5 of them went like 3 or 4 minutes down the road, like right after I called them. So they was on them and caught the kid.
Yeah.
But it was one kid that lives in Addyston, the other 2 didn't.
Yeah.
So they had plans on doing something, but they just
Yeah.
couldn't get the nerve to do it. So it's pretty
Scary.
interesting.
All right. Get ready to start with pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Dan Pillow.
Here.
Jennifer Wiehe. Here. Kathy Byess.
Here.
Dan Pillow. Here. Al Glick.
Here,
Pam Jackson. Here.
I'm not here.
Thank you.
Yeah, I was just thinking the same.
I thought I had it turned off. That's my luck.
All right, we'll go ahead and start with the clerk's report. You received the minutes of the March 17th regular council meeting.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes.
I'll second it.
All right, motion by Pam, second by Kathy. Any discussion? No discussion, we'll vote.
Dan Pillow.
Yay.
Jennifer Wiehe.
Yay.
Kathy Byess.
Yay.
Ann Pillow.
Yay.
Al Glick.
Yay.
And Pam Jackson.
Yay.
You have minutes from the special council meeting on March the 25th.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes from March the 25th.
One second.
Motion by Pam, second by Al. Any discussion? No discussion, we'll vote.
Dan Pillow.
Yay.
Jennifer Wiehe.
Yay.
Kathy Byess.
Yay.
Ann Pillow.
Yay.
Al Glick.
Yay.
Pam Jackson.
Yay.
We have the minutes from the March 27th special council meeting.
I'll make a motion that we approve the minutes from March 27th. Council meeting.
I'll second. Motion by Jennifer, seconded by Pam. Any discussions? No discussions, we'll vote.
Dan Pillow.
Yay.
Jennifer Wiehe.
Yay.
Kathy Byess.
Yay.
Ann Pillow.
Yay.
Al Glick.
Yay.
Pam Jackson.
Yay.
And you have the minutes from the special meeting held on March 31st.
Right.
I'll make a motion to the minutes from March 31st.
I'll second.
Motion by Pam, second by Jennifer. Any discussion? No discussion, we'll vote.
Dan Pillow.
Yay.
Jennifer Wiehe.
Yay.
Kathy Byess.
Yay.
Ann Pillow.
Yay.
Al Glick.
Yay.
Pam Jackson.
Yay.
You received pay ordinance 4A. This was for biweekly payroll that was paid out on March 21st. From the general fund, $4,322.20. From the sewer fund, $1,476. From the water fund, $1,547.96, for a combined total of $7,346.16.
I'll make a motion to approve 4A.
I'll second it.
Motion by Pam Jackson, second by Al Glick. Any discussions? No discussion, we'll vote.
Dan Pillow.
Yay.
Jennifer Wiehe.
Yay.
Kathy Byess.
Yay.
Ann Pillow.
Yay.
Al Glick.
Yay.
Pam Jackson.
Yay.
You have ordinance 4B for biweekly payroll, which was paid out on April the 4th. From the general fund, $2,707.85. From the sewer fund, $1,476. From the water fund, $1,547.96. for a combined total of $5,731.81.
I'll make a motion to approve 4B.
Second it.
Motion by Pam Jackson, second by Kathy Byess. Any discussion? No discussion, we'll vote.
Dan Pillow,
Yay.
Jennifer Wiehe,
Yay.
Kathy Byess,
Yay.
Ann Pillow,
Yay.
Al Glick,
Yay.
Pam Jackson.
Yay.
Then you have 4C. This is for accounts payable. Dispersed from the general fund, $11,095.51 from the street construction and maintenance repair fund, $375.01 from the state highway, $197.30 from the water fund, $5,039.38 for a combined total of $16,707.20.
Can I ask something here?
Sure.
With the computer repair service,
Mm-hmm.
is that a problem with the copier because of Wi-Fi connection?
Yes, it was, and
Was that from,
he looked at it, and we're waiting on Xerox to come back in. It wasn't, after he did his thing and looked, it wasn't what Xerox told us it was, so. What it is, it's the girls cannot print from theirs to that one. Now, I can print to mine, to the one upstairs, and they can print to the one upstairs, but the problem's in that one.
I'll make a motion to approve 4C.
I'll second it.
Motion by Pam Jackson, second by Al Glick. Any discussion? No discussion, we'll vote.
Dan Pillow,
Yay.
Jennifer Wiehe,
Yay.
Kathy Byess,
Yay.
Ann Pillow,
Yay.
Al Glick,
Yay.
Pam Jackson.
Yay.
Then you received a copy of the year-to-date appropriations, year-to-date fund status revenue. And I did want to share with you that I've been watching the earnings tax, and the check we received on April the 1st was $14,928 less than the one we received in March. In January, we received $31,563. In February, we received $39,848, and in March, we received $42,911, and this one was $27,982. So it was a loss of $14,928.
Do we know why? Sorry.
Well, I was in touch with Rita today, and I have a teleconference with a rep tomorrow to make sure on that. And while I was emailing back and forth today, I asked if she could tell me what the rate was for the city of Cincinnati, and she said it's 1.8. And she also asked me if I wanted to look, for her and I to look at the tax ordinance we have to see if the village wants to see about doing away with any credits to the city of Cincinnati and retaining that money in the village. So that's sort of what I'm hoping is going to happen. But even though it'll still have to be amended and go through with others, but I am trying to find ways. And then today, last week, the mayor signed off on the 3 titles for the police cruisers. I notarized them, and I gave them to Lieutenant Daniel tonight, and I'll give him a copy of the ordinance so I can send that to our insurance agency so we can get that off of our coverage too.
Great.
That's all I have, Mayor.
All right, thank you, Margaret. I don't have too much tonight, but I did want to bring up something that I'd like to do. I did talk to the 2. I'd like to change committee chairs between Kathy and Al. If they're both willing to do it, I would like Al on Public Works and Kathy on Health and Sanitary.
fine with me?
I don't care.
Okay. Is everybody else okay with that too? And then that dynamic also changes the Ineos group. So she wouldn't be on it, but Al would. Is everybody okay with that?
I'm fine with that.
Okay.
All right. That is all I had right now. Bob?
I have an ordinance authorizing the village clerk and mayor to enter into a contract with Miami Township, Ohio to provide fire protection and emergency medical services in the village of Addyston for the calendar year 2025 pursuant to the contract attached here too. This is just to formalize what council voted on May 31st, March 31st.
Make a motion, accept as read.
We gotta do the special thing
Oh,
first.
yeah, no, I forgot all about it.
3 times in a second.
Read 3 times, declared by emergency.
Suspend rules.
Suspend the rules by title only.
I'll second all that.
Okay. Motion by Al, second by
I
Pam.
forgot I had to do the special one also.
Any discussion? No discussion, we'll vote.
Dan Pillow,
Yay.
Jennifer Wiehe,
Yay.
Jennifer Ann, there it goes again, I'm sorry, that one keeps flipping back in there on me, Kathy Byess.
Would you like me to?
I changed that today, it must have, okay, Ann Pillow,
Yay.
Al Glick,
Yeah.
and Jackson.
Yay.
First reading, an ordinance authorizing the village clerk and mayor to enter into a contract with Miami Township, Ohio to provide fire protection and emergency medical services in the village of Addyston for the calendar year 2025 pursuant to the contract attached here too. Second reading, an ordinance authorizing the village clerk and mayor to enter into a contract with Miami Township, Ohio to provide fire protection and emergency medical services in the village of Addyston for the calendar year 2025 pursuant to the contract attached here too. Third reading, an ordinance authorizing the village clerk and mayor to enter into a contract with Miami Township, Ohio to provide fire protection and emergency medical services in the village of Addyston for the calendar year 2025 pursuant to the contract attached here too.
I'll make a motion to adopt as read.
Second.
Motion by Pam Jackson, second by Dan Pillow. Any discussion? No discussion, we'll vote.
Dan Pillow,
Yay.
Jennifer Wiehe,
Yay.
Kathy Byess,
Yay.
Ann Pillow,
Yay.
Al Glick,
Yay.
and Jackson.
Yay.
This will be number 11. If we do it, if you'll sign it.
All right, we'll go ahead and start with committees. Dan Pillow?
Mayor, I have nothing at this time.
No way.
Way.
All right, thank you, Dan. Jennifer?
Only one thing, just a follow-up from what Ms. Pam had said last meeting, that someone wanted to use the shelter. And I was gonna get with Parks and Playgrounds with laws and contracts, so that way we can come up with some type of rules before the season gets rolling.
At least a sheet for the shelter.
Most definitely.
Start with the basic. And come up with something that's comparable to other shelters.
Most definitely. And then Ms. Pam and Ms. Ann are on laws and contracts.
Yeah.
And then Ms. Pam is, Ms. Ann is head of parks. So can we get together and think of a date that we can all get together and brainstorm?
Yeah.
That's all.
Thank you, Jennifer.
Thank you.
Thank you, Kathy. Ms. Ann?
I can't say right now, because I'll have a house full for these next few days.
All right. Al?
I have nothing at this time right now. I'm just gonna be the Easter bunny, so I'm leaving that
Yeah,
up.
that's coming up.
Yeah, it's coming up.
Maybe not.
Get ready for that one. Yeah, maybe not.
yeah.
What, the flooding?
The flooding.
Well, we just have to
Is it
go up
on
on the
me yet?
flat.
Yeah.
Go up on the hillside.
I got a call from Great Parks and they want to refund my money for mine for the 19th of April.
Oh, because it's flooded.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
That
you
was
can
what?
always look at using
That was what,
firehouses or
75?
base.
Yeah, tell me a little,
That was what, 75 they charged?
92 now.
92?
because if we do the firehouse, are you done now? I'm sorry.
No, I was just messing with
I
her.
want to make sure, I don't jump on you with your,
No, you're good.
because if
we could always move it up on the flats, I guess, because we know the VFW is gonna be out. So, and it's gonna be cold Saturday.
Of course it is.
Is it
Really?
this Saturday?
Yeah, so if we want, we could change it. It's gonna be, it's gonna be freezing.
Already.
I think it's only gonna be like in the 40s or something.
Why don't we
unless
have
they
it
change
in
it.
Halloween?
Well, that's the day before Easter, but it may not be any better. Maybe
Yeah.
raining, I don't know.
Or just,
I think it's supposed to rain
I mean, we've
Wednesday
been out,
again.
Yeah.
we've been out
We've been
really
when it's
cold
been cold
before.
before.
Yeah,
Don't bother
but
me.
that's
A lot
awful.
of people won't do the firehouse.
We're gonna have to go over there and organize the firehouse because it's gonna
55
be,
on,
is it,
55 on Saturday.
does it say what the following Saturday's gonna be? Does
55
it go out
ain't
that
bad.
far? 55's not bad.
55 is good for the Easter bunny.
61.
Yeah,
So it's not
I think he
big
would
difference.
actually enjoy it
Yeah.
because that suit gets hot.
Yeah.
Just, is there anything in the middle of the fire? Isn't that all cleaned out now? Like on that middle bay?
Yeah, I mean, there's plenty of space
Yeah.
to at least set up to, because all you need is if people, you can bring it to the door so
Yeah.
that nobody else is coming in.
Because you know how it is. We're just gonna have to really slow down to keep time to get these, one group done before we jump on another group. Because we can't have all the people in the firehouse. That's not gonna work. So.
That's what we
yeah.
did one year, we set the table out.
No,
We used to do it
Next to-
outside at the,
and
over at the,
then-
even at the
Yeah.
VFW even,
Yeah.
several years.
They also
Weather
used to do-
permitting.
When we had the basketball court, if you remember, they did the penny toss.
Yeah.
And a lot of the kids would go, while they was hiding the eggs, you know, they would go gather the money, the pennies.
Yeah.
And that gave like time between the runs
Right.
and them to get their prizes.
Yeah, we just really, you know, I don't have problems with on Saturdays. Everybody else wants to, but just know the VFW using that area is definitely out. We all know that.
Well, they said that if things clear up and that, we could use it. Well, I'm just saying, they're willing, but.
See where they're at.
Yeah, see where they're at.
They
So,
got, they
if
got a
not-
lot of water they gotta take care of.
It's still on then.
And it's supposed to
Trudge
rain
forward.
again.
Yeah, they're saying something by Friday, it's only supposed to be at 52. That'd be enough down, but you still ain't gonna have time to clean up.
Clean up and stuff, yeah.
Either way.
Yeah, so we're just planning on if it doesn't rescind, we'll just do our thing. The other thing, speaking of the park, Dan and I bumped into heads when we were over there. Those kids were in that water, they were out in the middle, they were on top of the net going on, you had to yell at one of the
Cars are
kids.
driving in.
Cars were driving through the water, so we did put some, a bear out, saying don't, you know, whatever. I really feel we should close the park, it's dangerous.
Yeah,
Well,
that's
me and
not a
Hunter
problem.
put the
I thought I seen
cones
caution.
down.
Yeah.
There is,
Caution
there is
tape
caution
across.
tape.
Because we're sitting over there and I gotta
That is
feel
a good idea.
cars driving through, and I mean, it's up to their, I don't know what they're thinking, you don't
They're
know what's
arresting people in New
even in
Richmond
that water, and those kids are out there,
and finding
they're
them.
walking barefooted.
Yeah, we can put some.
We were like, we couldn't believe it, it's like, come on now.
Because
That
you
water's too
can't tell where
nasty.
that drops off into the
Right.
creek.
Right.
It's kind
True.
of, it's pretty.
And I was amazed how many cars were backed up when we were sitting there just a short time. I just happened to be over there to show Ashley, and then here comes Dan pulling, and he's been checking on it. I was like, this is crazy amount of people that are trying to go over, just drive through and see what's happening. I'm sure that's all it is. I mean, there was truck with band equipment. I was like, what are they thinking? They backed up. I was like, that's crazy. This one van went through like they were in a boat, torpedoing through it. I was like, it was just crazy.
I went over this morning, but I backed up.
Yeah.
Going through.
So I don't know if we can put something on our website, or I don't know if we did talk to the kids that were over there. When I came by, there wasn't anybody there, so maybe the word got out.
Right.
We just kind of told them, yeah, it's not really good to be over here.
I've seen on the news that New Richmond, they're either fining them
$2,000 if
for
they go
passing
through there, yeah.
the caution
Boy,
signs.
Lieutenant, get on it.
Get on it.
So we do have a,
Is that something you guys
Caution
can
tape.
kind of walk for
3,005
us?
is
and-
a possibility that
Let us
they may
know.
end up actually paying that.
They don't know that though.
yeah.
This is a county, so they don't use it. Hit them that hard.
We just need to see if we have
Right,
signs,
yeah.
if not.
250
And
might be
the
more
kids
like
are,
it.
the bad thing is the the kids are unattended, it's over there, so.
That's really,
They get caught in that
Going
water.
along the edge where that water's so high, and I said, oh, I can't take
It's
this.
all sewer water. Yeah, they don't know.
No, that's what I said.
If they figured that out, so I don't think they'd be in there, but
Yeah.
if they ain't figured it out, they just think it's
I
water.
think you're lying.
they may know it tomorrow.
Yeah.
Blistered
So
up.
we
There
just
were
need
people
to,
fishing over by McDonald's in that water.
oh,
They were fishing behind the VFW today. They
Right.
said there was two of them over there
That's the
fishing behind the
filet of fish that we're
VFW. I'm like, what
Now,
in
if
the
they
world?
catch something, yeah.
yeah. So I guess if we can put a road closed sign or something, I don't know. Andre may have, I asked him, I mean, Dan, we're talking to him, so I don't know
Yeah, I
if he did or
seen him.
not. Yeah.
I'm sure
He said, "I'll run over
something's
there."
up over it already.
I know that the
He was on the way
cones
here.
are there,
Yeah.
so. The other thing is everybody's been asking about the cleanup, if we're having to clean up, people in the community. This is, I'm gonna pass this out, but this is not the done deal advertisement. It'll be done when we have our meeting, Wednesday?
Wednesday.
We meet with We Thrive. So if you see anything on here you wanna add or you don't like or whatever, I need to know like ASAP. I just got this today. And I did talk to Lieutenant. He's gonna get us an emblem, or the mayor says she can get one for us off of something. It's up to you. You've got
I'll send you
something.
what I have.
Okay,
Or what I can.
all right. And if we want to get like our Addyston thing on here, our logo or something, 'cause whatever. So this is going to be quite an event, as you can see. It's called the Addyston Collection Event. And we need to make sure that the citizens know that we will not be picking up at the curb. Rumpke will not be here. That stuff can go out in your normal garbage. But they take there's all kinds of entities that's going to be here to help us, just so everybody knows. I need my glasses.
So they have to bring their stuff to the park.
Yes, they must bring it to the park. There is a company that's going to be there that does furniture. If you have some reusable furniture, they will, if you come over to the park, they will take your address and go to your house and pick it up. But if you got something small enough that fits in your car, if you could bring it over, it'd be best.
Are they doing clothing too?
Yes, it's on here. It's household hazardous waste, tires, your yard waste, small household items, expired prescriptions, documents that you need shredded, and electronics. So just about anything and everything but garbage, and that's what Rumpke should get, that you can't recycle. This is kind of more like a recycling event than what we,
So Pam, I think the one thing that should be in bold is you have to,
yes.
you have to drive through.
Right, drive through.
This
is a drive-through.
event.
They take tires?
Yes.
There's a lot of tires through the village.
Oh, yeah. I see one house got about 20 of them.
That's
on
what
Main.
they gonna bring down.
Drive through, drop off.
Yeah, drive through and drop it off. Yeah, I'll
Drive-through,
try,
drop off.
yeah, we'll try to make sure they put that in bold letters on here. So,
Yeah.
because that's what I told them when they talked about the household, the picking up the furniture. I said, oh, we don't want to confuse our residents to think that we're going to do that. I think if we say that, people think we're going to do all this.
Yeah.
We don't want to get into that
What
problem.
about toys?
Yeah,
But
that
this
has
is
to be
just
real plain.
Yeah,
that
this
they
is
have
just
to
a
bring.
draft right here.
Yeah.
Just so you guys can see. So if there's anything else or something, yeah, that already, I said definitely making that clear that this is not a pickup of it. It's a
Toys?
drop off. Toys, yeah,
Small household items? I got all kinds of those.
yes.
They're gonna be some unhappy kids.
So anybody and everybody's welcome. It's not just for Addyston, it's for surrounding, whoever wants to get involved and drop their stuff off, they'll be more than willing to take it off your hands. And this is at no cost to the village, this is through a grant that the county picks up on all this stuff. They set up all these vendors to have their dumpsters or trucks, whatever it is, they're bringing.
They're gonna have a shredding truck?
Yes.
Yes.
Are you allowed to come in with a truck with a name on the side of it? Because still, we weren't allowed to.
We don't care.
A business truck, and did you live in Addison?
No,
You don't, okay.
no. No?
You might change that eventually.
Yeah. So what are you thinking of over there? You got the wheels turning?
I ran into this problem where we were hauling stuff out during a disaster, but since we had our names on our trucks, we were allowed to dump it, and they were township residents. And
Yeah.
that was the law, that they couldn't take anything out of a business truck. So they had to cover the names up on the trucks.
No, no.
So I don't know if you have that same situation where a person goes down and he might have his own business or something, and his truck's got a name on it and refuses to take it.
Yeah, no, we wouldn't do that. I mean, it would just depend on what
Trying to figure out when I could have a meeting.
something was.
Something comes up.
Something, what it is, you know, they might, it's up to them to turn it away, but I wouldn't think they would.
My truck full of tires or something.
Yeah.
Well, we get a lot. We get a lot of tires, but they recycle those, so
Yeah.
they'd rather it be in a dumpster and take it to recycle than to have it throw it in someone's
Throw it
In the
backyard
river.
or in the river and
We gotta
stuff.
make some tables out of them now, force concrete out of them.
Right,
Sell them under patio.
yeah.
They can't pull it away.
That'd be a good idea.
That's a good idea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Paints the rest, yeah. Holds
My
the
husband
concrete.
used to do that with concrete, but we would make tether balls out of it.
Yeah. You're right,
Right.
yeah, basketball.
Yeah,
Those used to be some.
that was fun.
So, other than that, that's it, the events are coming, and I did, you know, like she had mentioned, someone had called and wanted to know about, I think it's June 1st or something, just get the pavilion for a baby shower.
Yeah.
So I did come up with the book for Aaron or whomever's gonna take care of this. I mean, I don't have a problem doing it, but did it in pencil. I put all of the village events in there, so they don't book something the day that we've got something going on. And we've gotta keep this current, so she doesn't know what's going on unless we tell her. I mean, she's not gonna know if someone calls, if something's going on for that day, but we gotta get the application done
Yeah.
also.
That's my cousin, actually. that she
Is it?
talked to.
Yeah, I told her I would call her back after, you know, got with council, because I make them kind of
And
decisions.
she emailed me as well, so I just told her, I said, you guys are working on something. I'd let her know as soon as possible or
Yeah.
whichever.
Did you ever hear anything about the grant for the park event, the music?
I
You
have
have to
not,
look that direction.
I have not
Well,
heard any, well, maybe.
no.
You never
As
know
I
who they're
told
gonna
her,
contact.
Now,
You, that's about
she
it.
usually
Yeah,
knows,
she
the
did
two
it.
of us usually are the contact for
Right.
the county. And I did reach out to Kelly Adamson last week, and she said that she should know something the next day, and I think that was Monday, Tuesday, and I haven't seen anything come through my email. But I'll make a note and I'll call her office.
Yeah, because it's hard to plan when you don't know, so.
Yeah, makes it hard.
And then it's like the lieutenant, if you figure out a date that you want to do the cops and kids or whatever you want to call it, then we'll make sure that's available, you know, that we know that that date's good and we'll advertise it too.
We'll work with you too.
So we-
can
So we can get the
We'll
stuff
throw it all
on
on you.
our website. If we
Yeah.
had a calendar there, it'd be nice too, of the events. I know we've got a lot on our plate, but still, we need to get it advertised and get out so the public knows. That's why they keep asking about this cleanup. I said, yes, we are, but it's not like we've had in the past. So, so I don't have anything else, but I guess we can call it the Addyston Collection Event and put the date on there, on our sign, which is
And then put drive-through.
May 3rd, right there from 10 to 2. And they said that on the furniture, it might run over a little bit if they have to go
They have to
pick
go
up, things. I said, I don't have a problem staying if it's longer than that or whatever. And I said, I'm sure there's other people that
Would be
will hang around if it's necessary.
Yeah.
So,
All
but-
right.
so that's all I have.
Thanks, Pam. Appreciate
You're
that. Lieutenant?
Sent out the stats for last month. Addyston had 67 incidents dispatched to officers, and we also had 57 self-initiated incidents. Those are usually, you read them, traffic stops for 90% of those. We took 3 criminal reports and then 3 non-criminal reports. And we had 0 auto accidents. We already talked about the carrying concealed weapon, so that was good. That was a good arrest. And the other 2 were stolen vehicles that were recovered in the village. Anybody have any questions?
I do have one, Lieutenant. I was passing by one day, I don't know exact date, and there was a lady walking around
Lobby or outside?
I'll send that out tomorrow.
on the parking lot.
Oh, in the parking lot,
And
okay.
she was walking around taking pictures, and obviously I called dispatch to see if she was, did you hear anything about
I
that
didn't
at
hear
all?
anything about that at all.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know who she was. She had something hanging off of her. It wasn't a gun.
That's good.
So, you know, I was working with dispatch on that.
No, I didn't hear anything about that.
Okay.
Sometimes they have individuals that test law enforcement that way to see if we do something that's against the Constitution, like interfere with That doesn't sound like it was something like that, or else I would have heard of that.
I have no idea.
It could have been
So I
anything,
called.
really, yeah.
And
What day was, you don't know what day was?
I don't, I'll figure it out.
Okay.
Because
You
I
can
was
figure
going
out what day,
somewhere.
I'll track down the officer and figure it out.
The 22nd.
22nd, yeah.
Well, I'll track down the officer and see what it was.
Yeah,
Right, real estate,
huh?
real estate agent.
I don't know if she was taking
Taking pictures
pictures
of
in the
the
car, taking pictures of all. I'm a little slow, Ian, but that's okay. Pictures.
They're gonna sell.
Yeah, looking, you know, and I didn't want to say anything to her, you know, which I shouldn't say anything to
Brian
her.
ran in a pothole up there, she's looking for somebody to fix it.
Yeah.
I'm going second.
So, yeah, I wondered about the follow-up on that. And it took me so long to relay the information, and I know you get this complaint all the time. She could have been
Was she gone?
anywhere by the time we
Maybe
got
she was
finished
gone before the officer responded, but I'll find
going
out.
back
about
and
that.
forth, yeah. And finally, I just said, I'm sorry. It says if you see something, say something. I'm saying something. I kind of left it at that.
Okay, I'll check.
They said they would respond,
Okay.
yeah.
So we have a homeless shelter up off of Second Hand between Milts and Laney Jane Trail in the
Okay.
back of those woods. And a maroon van that sits there, they're sleeping in it too at night. You can see where they're sitting, there's like milk carton things, that the plastic ones that they're sitting on, they got it set up like a
You know
camp.
who owns the property that they're on?
Is that private property?
Lenny Jill Trail?
It's between
It's in that-
Milts and Laney Jane.
Well, it has to be owned by somebody. I mean,
Yeah.
we could look
Yeah,
it up
'cause we
on
don't have any
on the
that's there.
website. It wouldn't be ours.
So if they put a tent up there, usually the easiest way we go is to contact whoever owns the property and work with them on.
But I just know the two houses by Milts, or the ones that Dennis owns, are empty, and they're kind of concerned that, you know, they're stalking out those houses
Sure.
too.
Is it up
So-
past the driveway when you, say if you're going?
You know where Mills,
left?
that, you know, the house that sits in the back?
Yeah, that
It's
one.
right behind, yeah, right past that,
Up
just a
past
little
that.
bit past it. If you look in the woods, you can actually see where, it's not a tent, he's got like the
Man.
milk carton thing, the plastic ones, and they got that set up, and then sometimes they're sleeping in a maroon van out there too. I guess when it rains, they sleep in the van.
How much does anybody know about the one that's over the tracks where our recycling place used to be?
Down by my house?
Yeah.
Yes.
They're all down there all the time.
Yeah, that's what
I was gonna
I.
say, I see them.
Yeah.
They go down there all the
Back up
time. I got them on video going down there.
They said they have a pretty elaborate camp down there.
But they said the railroad people have to file charges for
Yeah,
trespassing.
again, it's their property company.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
work with people that own the property.
Yeah.
I've done a couple of those.
Chase quite a bit.
One was in Harrison, and one was over on Crosby Township. And including the Board of Health and all that, they all try to work with the owners of the property first and then work that way out to get rid of it.
I watched you guys tear one out at Kroger's.
Yeah.
Down by them, they had back
It's
in
easy to
a
get.
little wooded area.
Growers, we know who owns the property.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were able to, yeah.
Finding out who it owns it and getting contacting it in a cooperation.
Just that they can kind of keep an eye on Milts, because I know he's had cars broken into and stuff right there. So,
No, there's a bunch of them walks up and down through here.
Oh, yeah.
Looks like weekend at Bernie's, because they're walking
Yeah.
like backwards, because they're all messed up and
Is
stuff.
that where they're all going down there?
yeah, down next to my house.
I see them.
There's a tall guy and a girl that comes by here all the time. They walk up and down Main Street.
Pam had the one
They were
talking to
wired
her.
for 440, because they're just giving it to weekend at Bernie's.
Yeah.
From around here?
And then they just
Yeah.
stop and sit there,
Yes.
they're backwards. I'm like, what the hell is going on here?
Yeah.
Some of them are,
A lot of them are.
They used to be, yeah.
Yeah.
Guess they don't have a home anymore, so they're,
So they can't.
Shack in there,
yeah.
wherever they can.
Some tall dude.
The other day, they were taking the water with a broom, trying to shove it down 50 so it's not getting in their garage. And I'm just sitting there watching, just laughing, like, you're not gonna take all that water down 50. Come on, guys.
Hey, you never know what you can do on that
But
stuff.
look,
Hey, that's
now
what
I
I'm
see.
saying. Yeah, yeah. That could take, you can do a lot of things. Makes sense.
So I assume we don't have the one over by McDonald's anymore, like it's part of Addyston, I guess.
Not right now.
Yeah, not right now, I know we don't.
All the garbage is in the river
Is that
now.
garbage? That was over there.
I think it got cleaned up this round.
It was
In the water.
horrendous.
Probably the one back there too.
Because I mean, we cleaned it out before,
I know you
but it
did. We got
just.
that one.
Who owns this
They come
property
right
down
back
there?
in.
The railroad?
The railroad.
Railroad did
Can you
this
do
one.
like they did downtown? They came in and just took all the trees out. There's just, no, they got no place to live now.
Well, if they did, I would
I
have
mean,
riverfront
can you talk to
property.
somebody from the railroad?
Hey, you know what
can
we
see
did
the
at
river.
Grandma, because I'm a member
Yeah,
of
that's a
Grandma.
mixed use over
We took a
there.
backhoe
Yeah,
over there.
There's other people
Went
there.
all down through the
That
river, back,
property.
wiped every tree out.
Well, that's what
Wiped out all the
you
cans.
open it up, they'll be gone.
One shot. Took
You
that
can talk to
backhoe down
somebody
through
from the
there,
railroad, get with somebody over there.
wiped them all out. They
So
ain't
they can
nothing
get
but
it cleaned up.
And, they couldn't say nothing about it because it was Grandma Robin's park, or their
Yeah.
property.
A railroad might just go ahead and clean it up that way, just get them off the
Wiped
property.
it out.
I think they've already been in touch with the railroad. They didn't want to do anything, didn't they?
They cleaned that.
I thought that's
place
what they said at one
Or
time.
it's
Yeah,
done
They
it
with.
couldn't
depends
get
on where
press
they're
charges.
sitting at. Depends on where they actually pop up camp.
Wow.
Thanks,
But yeah.
Lieutenant. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
See what happened with that.
Thank you, Lieutenant.
We had plenty for you, didn't we?
Anybody from the audience?
There, I'm also say something.
You're here, man, come on.
3 minutes.
We're not homeless, but we got a street that we need fixed. We got three, what'd you say? What'd you say? You got 3 minutes. I think you said something else. Mike, I didn't see Mike, but we got 3 big size holes right in front of Doc's office up there. I mean, they're pretty bad. So the cruiser's been driving over them either.
Complain about it, but
So, those have to be fixed, but right there where Doc's is, there's 2 drains that drain the street off, and the grass is higher than the street. So I didn't know if maintenance could go in there and, you know, and shave that, to get because the water puddles in the street when it rained all week. And it just needs to get to that drain. The drains are there, but over the years, you know, it builds up. They need to be cleaned out, you know, or have them pour 2 concrete little things to go down to the drains, and it'll be taken care of all the time.
Where is it?
In front of the doctor's office up there, the dentist's office. I mean, it keeps,
Midway there between that and the
you
car
can't miss
wash?
it. I can look right in his off, right from South Road to the car wash,
Oh, okay.
right there. The street's missing a lot of it, but the water's, you know, is that something they can fix? We can do, or?
Well, we'll just, I'll have them check into it and do what we can do with it. Yeah.
Well, I mean, that's just, I mean, you can still have a backhoe, don't you?
Yeah,
Yeah, just probably just clean it real nice and neat, real easy, and then water will go down it, you know, and then patch the holes. But you think there's any way, I know you don't have the money to fix the street, but is there any way that we can get maybe like Queen City or Homes or somebody come out and do like the county does? Just scratch out like 2 feet and they blacktop it where the bad spots are until you get
yeah,
money?
it's cut and patching. We plan
Just
on
let your
actually
patch and
trying
patch,
to
it
get a
just
lot of
fall
that
out, but I
done.
mean,
Yeah, cold patch
it's
is good,
bad.
but hot mix.
I mean, you need to hire some professionals to come in, and if you don't have the money to do the whole street, you're gonna have to patch it. They just did up on Shady Lane, they just, real nice and neat, right where the tires are. It might cost 20 grand to get done, but. You got 20 grand?
We're
trying to find
this before, but that is on our list. Every
I know,
year,
the
we
list is, the list thing.
we turn that road in.
We gotta get it fixed.
Yeah, those
But
potholes,
let me tell you
definitely.
this, if we patch it and fix it, then it's good. We won't get the money to do the
Well,
street.
how long are we gonna go like this?
I don't know.
Well, yeah, I mean, my car,
Sorry.
you got a nice drive at the street, I don't. Makes a big, you go out that way, I gotta come in this way.
Yeah.
So I mean.
I go that way a lot too,
But
but
it has
yeah,
to
but
be-
that's our
it has to be
problem.
fixed.
Don't you agree? That's the biggest part of our problem?
Is there loans
As
out
long
there
as we
yet?
get pictures, that what I tell Mike to do is take pictures before he does any filling.
patches.
So that
I mean, is there any grants out there for this yet, or is all that being froze right now?
That's, yeah, no, it's not froze. We just got turned down on the last 2.
Yeah.
So it's not like
Well,
we're
when you say
stopping,
turn
we're
down,
gonna
what
keep
street
trying.
was it for out here?
Yeah, out there, the East Main.
So they,
Twice
why did they
turned
turn it
down.
down? Just said they didn't need it, or what?
We didn't meet the numbers,
Criteria.
like, because we're not the only ones competing for it. So if
Okay.
there's a road that they deem that's worse than what we've got dealing with, it's gonna go that
Would it
way.
help if the county pushed to it? Because, I mean, a lot of people use the street from Delhi, Green Township, coming to work. I mean, during the day, it's a lot of traffic through here. And it's
Oh, it
getting more,
is,
Oh, yeah.
it is.
You know?
So,
Yeah,
but
we
yeah, I
just
try
push-
to get them, I push them and do all
I
kinds
mean,
of
I'd like to
stuff.
just get some, I mean, just so we can fix them until you
Yeah.
do get the grant. I mean, just, The patching, those guys go out and patch them, but I mean, there's some holes now, but I think getting that water out will keep a lot of that from freezing and thawing and popping that stuff up too.
Yeah.
And that. And then the other little thing I got, when you come around the corner here, you know, where the VFW hall is, and when they got cars there, the whole thing's blocked, and somebody's gonna get their ass end knocked off.
Yeah.
I mean, they hang out. I don't know if you need to
Thank
move
you
it.
for mentioning that.
Yes.
Lieutenant, we did put up a no parking sign because I know what he's
I think it
talking
needs to go
about.
back farther. I think you need more of that bend, because more people are going this
Around
way
that
since
bend,
you can't
people
go
are
left.
parking, and when you're trying to come through there, it literally puts you in the other
Other
lane.
lane.
Yeah.
And you can't see if somebody's coming. And
When you
usually,
move that
no
sign-
offense, it's always on bingo night.
Well, it is, it's a shame, I know probably somebody ordered don't want to walk up there, but somebody's gonna get their car clipped.
Yeah,
And
they
I
are.
think you need to move the sign up a little farther too, you know, a little bit more, because you're using
We
more
probably won't have to worry
people.
about this
It's
week.
yellow.
Plus, if people
too.
come, you gotta stop.
Brown, yellow.
Yeah.
You're not even supposed to
Not
have
this week,
yellow.
this week.
Yeah, because we did have it. It's pretty far over there, but I mean, we
upstairs.
can look into moving it a little
You
farther.
see,
Yeah.
with electric.
And then on the other thing, how are we looking on the
That's what I look
budget?
at.
How'd you guys do your little workshop?
It was definitely a long day.
What kind of numbers did you come up with?
We're still working on things. We really only have so much money to work with.
I understand that.
We're trying.
How much did the fire levy end up costing you, do you know, or?
62.
We had to add to it. Our property revenue comes in at
No, I mean,
31, no, wait a minute,
fire-
31,000, and then the township put on us an additional 30-something. So now, instead of paying them the 31,000, we are gonna be paying them 65,000 this year, and then next year it's going up 5%, the next year it's going up for 5%. So that money, because we have no other money, has gotta come out of the general fund, so that's gonna take away from other things that we're doing.
Are they charging you or us the same amount of value as if we were Miami Township? Is it the same?
No.
Well, we
Or
really
is it
can't.
cheaper or is it more?
We really can't.
It's hard to compare that because of the way they operate with TIF money too for their.
Well, you still get a bill from Miami Township bills you for fire service.
Oh,
On
yeah.
your taxes, so much a millage. And I'm just using, they're using the same scenario on all of our real estate here.
I just told you what it was.
I know, I
They
think
get-
I know what he's asking. They don't give us a detailed
They
bill.
don't, I think one time I've seen an actual breakdown of what the self-billing company is supposed to collect from them. We are told by the township that Medco, who is the self-billing company, when they send their collection revenue to the township, they really don't break it down by communities. It's all one amount. So they really can't give us a by person total or by person call. So if you would listen when the fire department representatives from the township come and they give a report at our meeting, they might say they had 2 fire calls, they might have had 10 EMS calls, and they'll say other communities. To me, it's like, I just think that, I just feel that, you know, we are charged more than we should be.
Well, that's why I'm asking, so. I
Well, we
mean,
haven't got any concrete answers from them.
Yeah, like, if, you know, the auditor's department said this is what your millage would be if you were township, these people, our taxpayers would pay 80,000 a year, they
What
pay
I'm telling you
30,000
is
a
that
year.
31,000 is what we give them for that
That's
levy.
what, right, and that's what you're charging us right now,
No,
31,000.
we don't charge our residents. How it is set up is that the township does all of that. They take our levy money.
Right,
And
you have a levy
then,
on our
and
bill.
then when they bill the residents, what the residents' insurance companies don't pay,
No.
this is where that Medco is supposed to come
You're
into
talking about
play.
EMS.
If you're
Yes.
talking about the revenue,
talking about
the revenue that Miami Township generates from their property levies is greater
than what we're paying. That's what I'm getting at.
Yes.
That's what I'm trying to say here.
Okay.
So that's what I'm trying to
We're all
say. So
different.
basically, they probably went in their office and said, what's the revenue gonna be on these houses down here? And that's probably what they're charging you.
Yeah.
So therefore, you got two choices, pay the bill or jack the taxes up in this village to pay the difference
Well,
next year.
we have looked into that.
It's gonna go either way. If you go township, we're gonna be paying it, or if we stay this way, we're gonna be paying it. So
Well, if
there's
the
nothing
bill-
there. But my question is you, if the township levy doesn't go through, you're still stuck at that $62,000, right?
Yes.
Yes.
So,
And then the next year, 5 more.
what I'm getting at,
Contract.
so in the contract that Bob did with them, are we gonna lose any service? Or are they gonna
You could.
guarantee that service?
You could, because it depends on
Is that how it's
whether
written
their
up?
levy passes. or
Right,
not.
right. So they really can't base their service on that 62 until they know what they got, right? Because they're closing firehouses now. They're
Well, no,
having
they
blackouts.
based it on,
No,
Yeah,
they based it on the 62 now.
okay,
yeah.
all right.
But when we have to add that difference,
Well, Bob knows what I'm talking about, so
okay. All right. Thank you, Ed.
you're welcome.
I have a question for Bob. With the potholes, if a vehicle is damaged, is it the township, is it village problem, or can they
Not unless it's reported.
report it?
I have a question for Bob since he's here now. Margret said, well, back a few meetings, we were talking about the money here, that we have some debt, that we took some loans on grants, correct? If we would go township, are we still liable for those notes
Yeah, they're not gonna go away.
for the state? So that would be part of the debt of this village. It would go in with the trustees.
Yep.
They may
So
have-
you weren't
Take
sure.
everything.
You weren't sure, that's why I was
You
asking.
know,
So but did we ever come up how much of a debt we have in that meeting? Of all
oh,
the debts?
I mean, do you want to stop by later this week?
We did some charts for
I
you.
can give you something if you
Yeah,
want to
I don't
stop
know
by.
if you have a paper from your meeting or not, from all
If you,
of
like I
us.
said, if you want to stop and see me,
Okay,
not Wednesday, I have a
no, I'm just,
procedure Wednesday.
that's
But-
fine.
But I
I'm
can
just
share it
curious,
with
you know, I
you.
just like to say,
But we have, like right now, the village is paying twice a year. We have South Road, these are all Ohio Public Work grants. We have South Road that was done about 3 years ago. We have First Street that was done about 2 years ago. Then we have the Main Street. And then we have the Water Board, thank God, will be eliminating one of theirs come
Yeah.
July. So we have actually got like 5 outstanding grants, okay?
for structural.
Just for roads and things like that. These go back maybe 20, 25
Yeah, they
years.
take years.
I think the mayor and I looked at them, I gave her a copy of them a few months ago, or about a month ago, and I think one of them goes to 2039, and the other one goes to,
2039.
goes 2040, and that the village will still be paying on them, because we pay twice annually
Yeah.
on these bills, you know, or loans to the state of Ohio. So I don't have a problem showing you that if you want to
Is
stop
that
by.
county grant money we can get for these streets of state, or is there federal grants too?
Well, there is what's called the Ohio Municipal Road Fund money, but that has to be used for a road that is completely going in and out of Addyston.
Yeah, the
Okay.
MRF
And
is
then-
a throughway.
And then
Ours through.
that is
turned out
money
to
right
be-
now that we have tied in graciously, the Hamilton County Board with, and the engineers with that money is what we're doing First Street with again. Because we didn't have the money to go in
Right.
for First Street again. So, I mean, there's,
Well, I
you know-
applied for East on that same
Yes,
one, but
yes.
that's the one they
Are
turned
we,
down.
are we maxed out on our grants from the state? There's only so much.
I try to get whatever they'll give me.
Well, I
I
didn't know
pester
what
them
you
all
said
the
with the debt we
time.
had.
No, I wouldn't say we're really maxed out. You have to be able to show you're gonna be able to pay the grants back when we
Well,
apply
Well,
for them.
grant
Is
is
that our
something you
problem
don't
now,
pay
maybe?
back.
Well,
Or will be?
but when you, like they call the Ohio
There's a
Public
percentage
Works,
sometimes you have to pay.
it's,
Percentage.
Yeah.
it is the Ohio
usually
Public
not for-
Works Commission. It's considered a loan. A lot of people say a grant, okay?
And it is a loan.
It is a loan, we don't have, we have to pay that back. That's the one they give, that we can, you know, it can take 20 years to pay it back. Now, some of the grants we get, we have to have a percentage, like a matching percentage of the grant. Say, for instance, with our park that we're doing right now, through the Nature Works. Right now, we have got We've applied, we've got a certain amount back, but the other part of it, we have to show them in-kind work, and that is our share of it. Instead of like having the cash money to say, here's our 30,000,
Yeah.
we'll do that through the in-kind work. That would be our laborers going over there doing stuff, the equipment they use and things like
Right,
that.
right.
Now, other grants that we get, say like, we're working with FEMA, we're working with the Ohio Rural Water Association,
Okay.
all this, because Secretary has some major problems
Oh, I drove
where
up there.
we
It's
need
terrible.
to do things down
Yeah,
there.
major
So
ones.
that's through grant money.
That's some
whole
active.
street.
And that's something that, we're really trying to work with everybody who can be involved with that as far as money to take care of that, because we actually do not have the cash money, to do it. But if you stop.
And they are
stop
trying to
see
give
me.
us as much as
Way
they
too
can.
Who's the commission, or street commissions? Who was in here is on the committee for street commission?
I'm on the streets committee.
That's three.
How about if we get some bids on some of them just patching?
That's not my decision, I'm on the committee, but that
Well, who's in
actually.
charge of it? I mean, does it be Mike to sit down, walk out and say, hey, we got a bid on fixing some of these spots?
If council wants to do that, I don't see an issue.
Just to get them patched. You can keep patching them, it might be cheaper to fix them.
Thing about it
What the
is,
mayor said, I'm
Mike's
sorry.
gonna
how
have
you
to
do
go out and take pictures of all them.
Yeah, I
before he
told him
patches
before he
them,
touches
because
anything.
That'll help us later on to get some of the grants and get that out there.
I can spray them, but I don't want to get arrested like that guy in Norwood.
No,
They want to mark them all. They almost need to be marked so people can go around them.
We'll definitely look into it, see what we can do.
As long as they can take pictures of it, we can patch it up for now.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, right now, you
I'm
can
good
patch
with
those
that.
3 holes and get that water off the street. That's a no-brainer. I don't
Start
cost that
there.
much. So,
Mayor,
Yes.
I'll make a motion, we adjourn.
yeah, I'm done.
Motion by Pamela, second by Byess. Any discussion? No discussion, we'll vote.
Dan Pillow,
Yay.
Jennifer Wiehe,
Yay.
Kathy Byess.
Yay.
Dan Pillow,
Yay.
Al Glick,
Yay.
Pam Jackson.
Thank you, Ed.
Yeah.
It's always-